straightening up from the ruku. So now we have made ruku. Allahu Akbar. We raise the hands, yes or no? Going into ruku.
Yes.
We raise the hands?
Yes.
Yes. Now we're in the position, we say, what do we say in the ruku position?
Rabbi al-Adim.
How many times?
At least
At
three.
least.
At least three.
Can I say more than 3?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Now, after I have said Subhana Rabbil Adim, Subhana Rabbil Adim, how many times as I want to? Or the Imam says, Sami Allahu liman hamida, because once he says, I got to stop. Right? Now we're going back into the standing position. The standing position is called what?
Qiyam.
Qiyam. The bowing position is called what?
Ruku.
Ruku. So now we're going back into Qiyam. Straightening up from the Ruku, and what is said when you go up into the Qiyam again.
Sami Allahu liman
Hold
hamida.
on, she has her hand up.
Sorry.
Okay, according to my book, it says if you do the ruku and then you're gonna stand, for the short while. But it says it's al-Qamah, Qamah.
Qiyam.
Qiyam. Qiyama. Qiyama.
Same thing.
Is that the same thing?
Same thing.
Qiyam,
Same root word.
spelled as Qiyam.
Well, Qiyam, same thing. Qiyam, same. It's the same root word.
Okay.
It's a Q, M, Kama, Qiyam, Qiyama, Akima Salah. All these come from the same root word, mean to stand back up.
Right, okay.
Stand up. Okay? So now we're in the ruku, and we're going back into the Qiyam position, going back to the standing position. What do we say when we're going up? How do we raise our hands? Do we raise our hands? What do we do? Well, let's look what the hadith say. Not what we've been taught or what we do. What does the hadith say? Straighten up from the ruku, and what is to be said when you straighten up. Next, he, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, would straighten up his back out of ruku, saying, Sami Allahu liman hamida. So let me write this down. Everybody have this? I'm going to erase it. So what do you guys say in the ruku position? Okay, hold it up. So now I'm going to erase this. So now we're going back into the Qiyam. Right? I'll call it Qiyam after ruku. Okay? Because we got the first Qiyam is when we're standing, we say the Fatiha. This is the Qiyam after ruku. Okay? So now we say Sami Allahu liman hamida. Okay. Sami Allahu liman hamida. Now, when you're coming up from the ruku position, right? Now, if you're praying behind the imam will say, as he's coming up, Sami Allahu liman hamida. Okay? But we're gonna act like you're praying by yourself first. Okay, let's act like you're praying by yourself first. When you come up from the ruku, right? When you're coming up to the standing position, you raise your hands as well. Let me go ahead and read this hadith so we can put it all together. When he raised up from this position, he would raise his hands as well. Okay, this is also from Mutawatir hadith, narrated by Ibn Umar, who was the son of the second Khalifa, that when he came up from Sami Allahu liman hamida, he would raise his hands. Sami Allahu liman hamida, he would raise his hands as he was saying Sami Allahu liman hamida. Rabbana wa lakal hamd, he put his hands to the side. Okay, and you would stand out of relaxed position. Okay, and you stand in this position until all your bones and everything relax. Okay, if you're praying by yourself, again, this is the sunnah. Sami Allahu liman hamida, and then when you're standing, you say Rabbana, Rabbana, Rabbana wa lakal hamd. Rabbana wa lakal hamd. Okay? Okay? So, when you come up, Sami Allahu liman hamida. While you're standing, Rabbana wa lakal hamd. Rabbana wa lakal hamd. Okay? So this is when the qiyam after ruku, this is while you're standing. And your hands will be at your side. There are some who after ruku, Sami Allahu liman hamidah, Rabbana wa lakal hamd, some come back to this position. Okay, Allahu alam. But the majority is that we go back to the relaxed position. Okay? We go back to the relaxed position and we stand in this position until all of our bones and everything are relaxed. So we don't rush. We don't break our back until after everything has been straight. Okay? Also, the raising of the hands, this is mutawatir as well. Raise the hands in doing so. Also, raise the hands. Okay? Okay, everybody repeat after me. Sami Allah.
Sami Allah.
Sami Allahu. Liman hamida.
Liman hamida.
Sami Allahu.
Sami Allahu.
Liman hamida.
Liman hamida.
Sami Allahu.
Sami Allahu.
Liman hamida.
Liman hamida.
Rabbana
Rabbana
wa lakal hamd.
walakal hamd.
Rabbana
Rabbana
wa lakal hamd.
walakal hamd.
Sami Allahu liman hamida.
Sami Allahu liman hamida.
Sami Allahu liman hamida.
Sami Allahu liman hamida.
Rabbana wa lakal hamd.
Rabbana walakal hamd.
The women. Sami Allahu liman hamida. Rabbana wa lakal hamd. The men. Sami Allahu liman hamida.
Sami Allahu liman hamida.
Rabbana wa lakal hamd.
Rabbana walakal hamd.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Also in this piece right here, Sami Allahu liman hamida, Rabbana wa lakal hamd. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that when the Imam says Sami Allahu liman hamida, say Rabbana wa lakal hamd, and those whose Rabbana wa lakal hamd coincides with the angels, all of their sins will be forgiven. So again, we have another opportunity.
Is that audible, brother? Does it have to be?
Yes.
Yeah.
Rabbana wa lakal hamd, this is audible. Okay, the Ameen is audible. The Rabbana wa lakal hamd is audible as well.
Right.
Good. He, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, used to make his standing about as long as his ruku, as has been mentioned. In fact, he would stand for so long. In fact, that sometimes he would stand for so long, sometimes that one would say he has forgotten because he is standing so long. So sometimes after coming out of ruku, Sami Allahu liman hamidah, he would stand for a long time. And some people would think, oh, maybe he forgot what position he's in because he's standing so long. But no, he's following the sunnah, he's being relaxed, he's showing us how to pray properly. He also reminded him that no one's prayer is complete unless he does that, and used to say, Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah does not look at the prayer of the slave who does not make his backbone upright in between his bowings and his prostrations. Allah does not look at the prayer of the person who does not make sure that his rising, that his backs are straight in his standing, in his ruku, or in his sajda. So if you do not take your time in your ruku, if you don't take your time in your coming back up from the ruku and making sure that your bones are relaxed, your vertebrae lines up, if you don't take the time in your sajda, right, you're pecking like a hen, as Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, don't do. But you take your time in your sajda because this is the time, which we're going to get into inshallah, that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, this is the time which you are most humble and you come the most closest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when you're in the sajda position. When your head is down to the ground, this is the closest that you can come to Allah because you're in your most humblest position. Okay, we're going to get to what we say, but we say Subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're saying that He is the most high while we are in our most humblest state. We're declaring that He is the most high in our most humblest state. You know, like we say, man, bow down. I don't bow down to nobody. Yes, we do. We bow down to Allah. So in our humble state, when we bow down and put our head to the ground, we're saying that He is the most high. In that position, that's when you ask for whatever it is that you ask for or want to ask for. He said, because in this position, your dua is ever heard. Your dua, whatever you're supplicating for, it is ever heard in the sajda position. We're going to get into that, inshallah. But we're getting into that right now. We're coming out the ruku. He also reminded him that no one's prayer is complete unless he does that. So again, you can have an invalid salat. You can have an invalid salat if you're moving too fast and you're not making sure that you control yourself in every position, according to the statement of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So again, yes sir.
Bismillah. Of course, when we found the Imam comes up and he says, Sami Allahu liman hamida, we say, Rabbana lakal hamd. If indeed we're doing a silent prayer and we're doing it by ourselves, is it audible?
You say Sami Allahu liman hamida, Rabbana lakal hamd. Yes, you can say it out loud. Even in the silent, but you don't say it too loud, but you still say it to yourself.
Right.
If you're behind the imam, he
Right,
can
I
say
mean,
it out loud. You say it out loud. Rabbana lakal hamd. You say it out loud as well.
Right.
Not too loud to make a scene,
Right.
but you're saying it following the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
And then when you do it by yourself, I mean, of course you move your lips, but you.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
The imam, it is his responsibility to lead the salat. So that's why whoever's leading the salat, you must make sure that he's qualified to lead the salat. Any mistakes in the salat, that's on him. The people who pray behind the imam, we must make sure that we fulfill our obligations in our bowings, our prostrating. If he goes fast, that don't mean that we move fast. We hear Aslan, you make sure that your back is straight. You make sure you say your Subhana Rabbil Azim 3 times. Make sure that your back is straight, and then you try to catch up to him. But you make sure that you fulfill all your obligations in your salat. Even if you're reciting, he's reciting even in the silent prayers, and you are reciting Surah Al-Fatiha to yourself, but for whatever reason, he's reciting fast. And he said, Allahu Akbar, before you finish the Fatiha, you still must recite the Fatiha if it's in the silent prayer to yourself. Before all right, now we came up, Sami Allahu liman hamida. Again, the women, what do you say when you come up? First part. And when you stand up, you say? Do I raise my arms and my hands?
Yes.
Okay, alhamdulillah, this is mutawatir. Okay, now we're going into the sajda. Everybody have this?